So with the new season of anime, of course, comes with a lot of new sequels, and one I was very looking forward to in the build-up was Lupin the Third Part 5, which is a continuation of 2015's Part 4, which was one of my favourite TV series to come out of that year. It's probably one of my favourite Lupin entries in general. It's just, I don't really have much to explain about it. This will be for another day, but it's just very fun, very energetic, and I think part of the reason why I liked it was it had technology implemented like it does heavily in Part 5, at least in the first episode, but it was on a way to build upon the original Lupin formula. And what do I mean by this? Well, Lupin is a very, very old anime series. It's often been called the anime James Bond, and that's not too far removed of what it actually is, because they share very similar personality traits, both as characters and how it's produced. There are very, very traditional spy capers like, car chases, fever, just outsmarting opponents and things like that. And I liked how Lupin in Part 4 was still very much removed from being too digital and too modern day, so to speak. And I also liked how the characters didn't really have to worry about this. Of course they had technology, but it was to have those traditional capers and traditional fun and action. And the dynamics of them were very self-contained. There was only a few of them, and you know what you're going to get, which I guess could also be a criticism about Part 4, that it's too derivative, but that's part of the reason why I liked it so much. And so here we have Lupin Part 5, which takes everything into a very new and interesting direction, because in Part 5, the first episode, it talks about cryptocurrency, social media, deep web, and these are things that are completely new to Lupin, just because of how old of a series it is, and it's never really taken this much of a modern day direction before, which I'm honestly very interested about. Part 2 goes very much into social media. Episode 2 goes very much into social media and talks about the Lupin game, which is a social media game about chasing Lupin, and that means, and in his eyes, that means that everyone is a cop now. So of course we visually know what Lupin's opinion about social media and the way that everyone's tracks is, because of course it very much gets in the way of his traditional spy capers. And it'll be interesting to see how he, G-Gang and the others counter modern day technological advancements. But I also feel like this could also be a detriment to Part 5, because it's interrupting a very old and traditional formula, which again, you could see as a criticism, but I think part of the reason what made Lupin so fun that over the years it was very much traditional and integrated into these spy capers. And I think the reason why I'm mostly concerned about Part 5 is that in the first episode, technology is very oddly implemented into it. There's barely any traditional action apart from a car chase at the end. There's lots of shots of phones, computers, almost everything in this episode seems to have to be done with a piece of technology, which I kind of get that it's setting the tone for what they're going for in Part 5, but at the same time it does concern me that it's going to very much lose its formula and sight of what made Lupin so great in the first place. But of course, these are just impressions from the first episode. It's a 2-course series, and I'm sure it's going to settle down and find its feet. But until then, this is all I really have to go off on. And yeah, Lupin, it's a great series, and I really hope that this is just me being silly and concerned over nothing, because, well, of course, it's just the first episode. But yeah, very random thoughts. Jackie, bye.